Welcome to Blood 72 Productions. Last time I made a collection video, it was 2018. Obviously, since then it's grown quite a lot. We'll start with the shelf area that you guys probably all remember. Still have some of the old banners I've had for a long time. That's new. I've gone to Bristol since then at least 3 times. We have a lot of new cars up here. A lot of trucks. The legendary Corey LaJoy Scooby-Doo car. Kurt Busch, some Chip Ganassi cars, RCR cars. Dale Jr. track test car. Reddick. And the Victory Lane, obviously the most recent winner I usually put in here. Still some old diecasts that have been here since the original video. Some like this Byron car or this Elliott car, but a lot of new cars too. Some customs I've made of Suarez, Stenhouse, Haley, some Rick Ware cars, Wallace, some more Xfinity style cars. And now we've added these shelves up here. A lot of Penske, Ford mainly on this side. And then this Dodge Daytona newspaper article. A birthday card one of my friends made for me. A lot of Kozlowskis, Rusty Wallace, some random guys. Like, let's see, Newman, Hornish, Logano, a bunch of Wood Brothers cars. Getting into the Stewart-Haas Racing and other affiliations of theirs. Then we have some other Hendrick cars over here. Jimmy Johnson's, just a couple Chase Elliott's. Indianapolis tickets from years ago that I couldn't really find. Healy Deegan car. And some race wind diecast from Blaney. Obviously, when he had that crazy finish at the Roval and the almost crazier finish at Talladega a couple years ago. Down here, some of the things I've collected at some of the tracks I've been to. Like I got this Harvick at Bristol back in 2019 for the night race. Same with some of these stickers. This Harvick I got this year at the night race. And Jimmy Johnson down there I got last year at the night race. I got that Larson at Daytona. And I'm in that car, in that picture. The camera will focus. There it goes. I'm in that old Harvick Busch Series, or Nationwide Series car. And took laps around Daytona in it. I have the diecast right here. That's a really cool piece of my collection now. Down here, obviously I said at the time I had a lot of Ryan Blaney's. Well, that doesn't compare to now. Now I have a lot more. Some like these little cars that you get at Menards. Just cheap little plasticky cars. And then same with like these Lionel 124 diecast, kind of cheaper made. Obviously the box is fuller than it was before. I don't think we'll dive into that this time. That's definitely something for later. The collection has moved to another area across the room because it outgrew the corner. So we'll have, start from the top here, an old Daytona. James, was that Hilton? Yeah. Obviously some of the old school guys, Foyt, Spencer, Yarborough, Arrington, both Yarboroughs. Eric Almirola's Air Force car, Mike Skinner, one of the real old Team Caliber cars, I guess. Cotton Owens. Basically the original Pontiac spokesman, I guess you can say. One of the weird all-star race cars with the funky numbers. Martin Truex Jr. Richard Petty. Bunch of Daytonas. Most of them are pretty bad shape. Some Daytonas and some Superbirds. A lot of Richard Petty racing cars. An old Fireball Roberts Pontiac. It's a really cool piece. Going through the years for RPM. Some old cars from the 50s on up. Kind of in the 80s now. 90s. To 2000s. Got Labonte. Compton. One of the Wallace Busch Series cars. Allison. This is like Yates Racing. Dale Jarrett. And kind of thrown in here with Nemechek. We have some of the Evernham Racing, DEI, to RCR, a lot of Earnhardts, a lot of Austin Dillons. More RCR, Reddick, Harvick, Skinner again, and kind of affiliates of theirs. Like, let's see here, Chip Ganassi. A lot of Ganassi cars. This one's cool. This is a part of a bunch of cars I just got. Usually you find a bunch of cheap cars from like the 90s and die-cast bins and stuff, but it's not often you find really cheap Gen 4 era cars. I got a really good hauled, I guess you can say, the other day. That was really neat. Kind of a rare car. Not seen very often. And here is basically Toyotas. Got Truex, Stewart, Kenseth's last ride, a bunch of Kenseth cars. Little cars. Some old Michael Waltrip Racing, Martin Truex Jr.'s, Carl Edwards, 18s, a bunch of Kyle Bushes, and 20 cars, Stewart and Bell and Jones, Hamlins, Wallace. This is a Camaro, but technically Levine changed to Toyota in their last couple of years. That's Casey Kane. And Ford's kind of broken up. We have a Roush shelf over here. So Edwards, my old favorites. Obviously got this car right here. This car is very interesting. They don't really make diecasts like these anymore. Look, the hood, you can see that there's these little tethers, like in real cars, make sure the hoods don't completely fly away into the crowd and anything. You got these little roof flaps that open. They also have tethers, but they get stuck on this one. If you look carefully, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it should be, if you move the wheel, the steering wheel should move. I think you can tell though. Like I said, the trunk opens, got tethers in there. Really neat latching system. I guess see the component moving up and down and back there. This is a really cool car. It's owner's elite. Got Martin. Some 6 cars. Obviously one of the weird Lino liquid colors. More of a collectible item. Trevor Bayne, Newman, Biffle, Reed, Stenhouse, Busher, Benson. I think that's Benson. Yeah, it's Benson. And some more Hendrick cars down here. Ricky Rudd, too. He used to drive for Rick Hendrick. Got this little random Gordon car. Some really cool big Gordon cars down here. That one is really neat. I love that year of DuPont. It had such a neat paint scheme with the blue sheen and red flames. More Ricky Rudd's, Terry Labonte, his Bristol finish. I guess I redid. This car was already completely primered, I guess you could say. All the paint was gone, so I might as well turn the rest away. My friend gave me this one. Also not in great shape. Ones like this one, it's not bad. get a lot of Terry Labonte stuff. I really don't know why. I just like the Kellogg scheme. Progressing through the years. And little tiny cars right there. Moving on, Dale Jr. Not many of those. A lot of Jimmy Johnsons. I think I mentioned this in the last video. Kind of a rare bird, I guess you can say. These old crash cars, old Nascar bashers. Okay, I guess I had some technical difficulties with the NASCAR bashers, but other than that, those aren't very too common anymore. This one has one of the panels that pops off completely, so I don't really want to fix that one like I had to with Johnson, but the Johnson one's still in pretty good condition. Terry Labonte hood. Wow, not real. It's plastic. Gordon championship hat. All of his championship wins. And this poster, signed by Sam Bass and man himself, Jeff Gordon. This is a really neat poster. Probably the most expensive item in the collection. Spared no expense, I guess you can say. Went to I guess some people were moving out and they were getting rid of all this stuff, and I just got it for $5, so really good deal there. Super cool. Also, an awesome DuPont scheme. Not only has the NASCAR collection grew, as you can see, the regular Hot Wheels kind of grew a bit. Or a lot. So we'll go through these in the next video, because we're kind of running along with this one.